So in this video, I will be telling you about some of the applications based on Kirchhoff's laws. That means how to apply it for circuits containing resistors. Then how do we determine equivalent resistance using Kirchhoff's law. Then we will apply it only for capacitors. At last for a combination of capacitor and resistors but in steady state. Okay, now coming to the first question. This is an NCERT example question. So using Kirchhoff's laws, we have to determine the current in each resistor. See, already branching of currents is given in the question as I1, I2 and I3. So since there are three unknown values, okay, I1, I2 and I3, we need three equations relating them. So I will frame three equations by making use of Kirchhoff's law. Okay, look at the first equation. For this loop, I will name the loop A, B, C and A. Okay, for the loop A, B, C, A, if I apply the Kirchhoff's loop rule. So write the equation, start from A for the loop A, B, C and A. Start from A to B, we are moving in the direction of current. I told you it should have negative sign, 4 into I2. When you move from B to C, again you are following the current. So minus of current is I2 plus I3 into resistance is 2. And when we move from C to A, here also we are moving in the direction of current. So minus of I1 into 1, that is I1. And when you cross a battery from negative to positive, EMF is taken as positive. Should be equal to what? 0. Okay, I repeat, we have applied the Kirchhoff's loop rule for the loop A, B, C and A. So we have got the first equation. Simplify this relation. Minus 4I2 minus 2 into I2, that will be minus 6 I2 minus 2 into I3 minus I1 should be equal to minus 10. Or you can write I1 plus 2 I3 plus 6 I2 equals to 10. Call this as equation 1. Similarly, I will apply Kirchhoff's loop rule for this loop, that is A, C, D and A. So for the loop A, C, D and A. Apply for this loop, start from here, I am moving from A to C, positive to negative, EMF is negative. Opposite to direction of current, plus 1 into I2. Not I2, it is I1. Then from C to D, you are moving in the direction of current, so negative sign, 2 into I2 plus I3 minus I1. And finally from D to A, you are moving opposite to current, so plus 4 into I1 minus I2 should be 0. Okay, now again simplify this relation. When you simplify it, minus 10 plus I1 minus 2I2 minus 2I3 plus 2I1 plus 4I1 minus 4I2 equals to 0. Write all I1s together. I1, 2I1, 4I1. 4 plus 2 plus 1. That will be 7I1 minus 2I2 minus 4I2 will be minus 6I2 minus 2I3 should be equal to 10. Call this as equation 2. See, we have got the first equation in terms of I1, I2 and I3. Second also in terms of I1, I2 and I3. At last now I will apply it for this loop. I will call this as E for the loop A, E, D and B. A, E, D and B. A to E. Not A, E, B and D. It is B, E, D and B. Starting from B, E, D and B. So apply it. There is nothing here. When you are crossing this, positive to negative, EMF is negative. No element here. Now I am moving opposite to current. Opposite to current we take plus sign. 2 into I2 plus I3 minus I1 and again we are going opposite to current, plus 2 into I2 plus I3 should be 0, or minus 5 plus 2I2 plus 2I3 minus 2I1 plus 2I2 plus 2I3 should be 0. So when you simplify these relations and write in terms of I1, I2 and I3, first write all the I1 terms. Only one term has I1, minus 2I1, 2I2 plus 2I2, that will be 4I2 plus 2I3 plus 2I3, 4I3 should be equal to 5. Call this as equation 3. See, by applying Kirchhoff law for 3 loops, we have got 3 different relations relating I1 and I2 and I3. This is your first equation. This will be your second equation. And this gives you the third equation. Now, how many unknowns we have? I1, I2 and I3, 3 unknown values. Now, we can solve them to find out all the 3 answers. Okay, so how do we determine it? First, try to eliminate any one of the terms. See, if you observe these two relations, we have plus 6I2 and minus 6I2. So, adding 1 and 2. When you add 1 and 2, I2 gets eliminated. So, first do equation 1 plus equation 2. Add both of them. I1 plus 7I1, you will get 8I1. 6I2 minus 6I2 will anyway get cancelled. Plus 2I3 and minus 2I3 also gets cancelled. Should be equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Implies, what is I1 equal to? 20 by 8, or nothing but 4 5s, 4 2s, that is 5 by 2 ampere. See, did we get the value of I1? And once you get the value of I1, now it's easy to determine the remaining 2 values. See, put this I1 in both 1 and 2, or in all the 3 relations. You can get the answer for I2 and I3. Okay, let us see. If I keep I1 as 5 by 2 in equation 1, what is the relation we are going to get? I1, I am writing it as 5 by 2, 2I3 plus 6I2 is 10 minus 5 by 2. Okay, I have substituted the value of I1 in equation 1. We have got the answer in terms of I2 and I3. Similarly, substitute the value of I1 in equation 3 also. We get 4I2 plus 4I3 as 5 plus 2 times of I1. 2 into 5 by 2. This is nothing but 10. Call this as equation 4 and this as equation 5. Now we can solve these 2 relations. So how to solve them? See, you have 4I3 here and here we have 2I3. Take out 2 common from this 5th equation, or you can take out 2 common. 2I2 plus 2I3 will be 10 by 2. I will write it as 5. Now observe 4 and this. This term has 2I3. This also has 2I3. Subtract the 2 relations. This also I will call it as 5. Equation 4 minus equation 5. Subtract them. 2I3 minus 2I3 will get cancelled. 6I2 minus 2I2 is 4I2 equals to 10 minus 5 by 2 is 20 minus 5 by 2, that is 15 by 2 minus 5, or 4I2 equals to 15 by 2 minus 5, that will be 5 by 2, implies I2 is equal to 5 by 8. See, we got the value of I2. We even got the value of I1. Now I think it is not difficult to calculate the value of I3. So I am leaving the solution part. Since you know I1 and I2, Now you can apply it in any one of the relations and get the value of I3. So this is how you can find current I1, I2 and I3 in the given circuit by applying Kirchhoff's law. Now coming to this question, here we are asked to find out the current in each branch, okay, giving a Wheatstone bridge. But look at the Wheatstone bridge. Is it a balanced bridge or an unbalanced bridge? See, 10 by 5 is not equal to 5 by 10. So therefore it's an unbalanced bridge. So to determine the current, first I will have to distribute the currents. Okay, start distributing the current from the battery. Let the current coming from the battery be I. After reaching this junction, it is split into I1. I'll take this current as I minus I1. And I1 after reaching this junction, again it divides, let it be I2. So this will become I1 minus I2. I2 is coming down, I minus I1 from this side. The total current will become I minus I1 plus I2. All put together, you are getting back the current I. Okay, so this represents the distribution of current. And now we need to find the value of I1, I2 and I. So I will start applying Kirchhoff's law for the closed regions. Okay, if I name this as A, B, C, D, E and F terminals, apply Kirchhoff's law for the loop A, B, D and A. Okay, for the loop, which is the first loop we are applying, A, B, D and A. Start from A to B, we are moving in the direction of current. In the direction of current, we take negative sign. So minus of current is I1 into 10. So minus 10 I1. Then from B to D, again in the direction of current, minus 5 I2, opposite to current. So plus 5 into I minus I1 should be 0. Take out this 5 common in the whole relation. We will get minus I1, minus I2 plus I minus I1 is equal to 0, or minus 3 I1 minus I2 plus I should be 0. Call this as equation 1. Now we need two more equations. Now I will apply Kirchhoff's law to this triangle, that is B, C, D and B. So for the loop B, C, D, B, start from B to C, 5 into, in the direction, so minus sign, minus 5 into I1 minus I2. We are going opposite to current, so positive, 10 into I minus I1 plus I2. Then D to be opposite to current, value is positive, plus 5 I2 is 0. If I remove 5, minus of I1 minus I2 plus 2 into I minus I1 plus I2 plus I2 equals to 0. Solve it. Minus I1 plus I2, 2I minus 2I1 plus 2I2 plus I2 should be 0. Bring all I1s together. Minus 2I1 minus I1 is minus 3I1 plus I2 plus 2I2 plus I2. It will be 4I2 plus 2I should be 0. Call this as equation 2. Now I need one more relation. Now I will apply Kirchhoff's law for this M-shaped loop. Okay, that is for the loop. Name the loop A, D, C, E, F, A. A, D, E, A, D, C, E, F and A. Okay, for this M shape. Start from A. We are moving in the direction of current, so negative sign. Minus 5 into I minus I1 in the direction. Again in the direction. So minus 10 into I minus I1 plus I2. Now We are crossing the battery, negative to positive should be positive. In the direction is minus 10I should be 0. Again take out 5 common, minus of I minus I1 minus 2 into I minus I1 plus I2 plus 2 minus 2I is 0. Okay, simplify this relation. Minus I plus I1 minus 2I plus 2I1 minus 2I2 plus 2 minus 2I should be 0. Now first collect all I's, I1s, I1 and 2I1. These two put together we get 3I1. Now go for I2, only one I2 is present, that is minus 2I2. Then for I's, minus I, minus 2I, minus 2I, that is minus 5I should be minus 2. Call this as equation 3. Okay, so what are the three equations we have got by applying Kirchhoff's loop rule? This is one relation, this is the other equation, and this is the first equation. Okay, now we need to solve them to get the value of I1, I2 and I. For that, observe second and third relations. It is minus 3I1 and here we have plus 3I1. Add the two relations. Okay, so here I will write equation 2 plus equation 3. Okay, when you add 2 and 3, what is the sum coming out to be? 3I1 and minus 3I1 gets cancelled. 4I2 minus 2I2 will be 2I2. This plus this, minus 3I. 0 plus minus 2 will be minus 2. Call this equation 4. Similarly, from 1 and 2, I will subtract the two relations. Because we have minus 3I1 and minus 3I1, when you subtract, I1 gets cancelled. So when I subtract 1 minus 2, okay, so I will write the equation here. Equation 1 minus equation 2. What is the answer when I subtract 1 and 2? This is 1 and 2. 3I1 minus 3I1 gets cancelled. Minus I2 minus 4I2 will be minus 5I2. I minus 2I will be minus I, should be 0. Implies I is equal to minus 5I2. Okay, if I bring I this side, I have got I as minus 5I2. Keep it in this relation. 2I2 minus 3 times of, in the place of I will write minus 5I2. Minus 5I2 should be minus 2, or 2I2 plus 5 3s 15I2 is minus 2. See, did we get the value of I2? 2 plus 15, 17. So I2 is minus 2 by 17. See, once you get the value of I2, ampere, what does that negative sign imply? We assumed that current to flow from B to D, but actually current is flowing from D to B. What is the magnitude of current in this vertical branch? It is minus 2 by 17. And if you know I2, I can find the value of I. What is I? Is it minus 5I2? Minus 5 into minus 2 by 17 will be 10 by 17 ampere. This is the total current supplied by the battery. And if you know I and I2, you can easily find the value of I1. Okay, put these two values in any one of the relations. Okay, you can select any one. I will select this, 3I1. So 3I1 minus 2 into, in the place of I2 we have got minus 2 by 17. So this will become plus 2 by 17 minus 5 into 10 by 17 should be minus 2. Okay, so solve this relation. 3I1 equals to minus 2 plus 50 by 17 minus 4 by 17. Take LCM. 17. 17 2 is minus 34 plus 50 minus 4, or 3I1 equals to, solve this, minus 34 minus 4 is minus 38. So 50 minus 38. Answer will be 12. So you will get 12 divided by 17, or I1 is equal to 3 goes 4 times, that is 4 by 17 ampere. Okay, though the calculations are looking lengthy, but once you know how to frame these 3 equations, you can easily solve, because the remaining part is only mathematical portion. So try to understand how to frame the relations, but once you get the equations, you can use any of your algebraic methods for solving to get the values of I, I1 and I2. But be careful, these are not the answers. The question is, what is the current in each resistor? If it is 10 ohm resistor, this 10 ohm resistor, it is 10 by 17. Whereas look at this resistor in the branch AD. What is the current in the branch AD? I minus I1. You know the value of I, you know the value of I1. Subtract them and then report the answer. So in this question, we have to find the direction of current in an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, it is actually the same question what I gave you in the previous case. But here I am going to derive one condition to show what will be the direction of current in that central resistor, okay, for a given arrangement of resistors, but it is an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. So before that, I will name them as P, this as Q, let this resistance be R, and let this be named as S. Okay, because we are going to generalize and find out one formula or a condition, and that condition you can apply to find out the direction of current without doing all these calculations. See, let us suppose if current flows from B to D. When will current flow from B to D? Only if VB is greater than VD. Okay, here I will write. Current would flow from B to D under what condition? If potential at B is more than potential at D. Now I need to find out potential at B and D. So instead of finding out the potential, we will take the potential difference. I'll take the reference point as A. I'll modify this formula. VA minus VB. I'm taking the potential difference, should be less than VA minus VD. I repeat, VB should be greater than VD. It is nothing but VA minus VB should be less than VA minus VD, because we are writing a minus sign. I took the reference point as A. Now I will find out what is the potential difference between the points A and B as well as between the points A and D. See, if you observe this loop, that is the branch A to B, B to C. These 2 points, are they at a potential equal to applied battery's potential V? Again I am repeating, VA minus VB, VB minus VC should be equal to the potential here, because across these 2 ends we have applied a potential. Now I have to divide this voltage between these 2 resistors. Okay, remember when 2 resistors are in series combination, V is divided as V1 and V2. What should be the ratio of V1 is to V2? Okay, if 2 resistors in series are in the ratio R1 is to R2, then V1 is to V2. Is it equal to ratio of the resistance? I am going to make use of this condition. For the branch A, B, C, applied voltage is V. So voltage across AB is to voltage across BC. Okay, here I will write voltage across AB is to voltage across BC. Should be in the ratio P is to Q. Now tell me what should be the voltage across AB. Is it P by, if the 2 values are in the ratio P is to Q, VAB will be, its fraction is P by P plus Q times the applied voltage. Similarly, to get the potential difference across AD, we know again A to D and D to C total voltage is V, which is distributed between them. So I will write VAD is to VDC should be in the ratio of this resistance into this resistance. I took the values R and S. R is to S. Implies what is voltage across AD equal to? R of R plus S, R times of R plus S, R divided by R plus S into applied voltage. Call this as equation 1, call this as equation 2. Now we have got the potential difference across AB as well as potential difference across AD. What is the condition for the current to flow from B to D? VA minus VB should be less than VA minus VD. Put this condition. So I will substitute 1 and 2 in equation 3. VA minus VB is nothing but P into V by P plus Q should be less than. Instead of this, I will write this term. R into V by R plus S. V will anyway get cancelled. That is your applied voltage. Cross multiply. PR plus PS should be less than PR plus QR. Both sides we have PR and PR. What is the condition we are getting? PS should be less than QR. Remember this condition. What is PS less than QR? Product of these two resistors, 5 into 5, that is 25, should be less than 10 into 10. See, it is 100. So if PS is less than QR, current will flow from where to where? B to D. B to D. Now opposite. If this product PS is greater than QR, then current will flow from which terminal to which terminal? D to B. So remember this condition. Again I am repeating. If the product of these two resistors is greater than these two, then current flows from D to B. If the product of these two resistors is less than product of these two, current would flow from B to D. Now you can make use of this condition when you get this type of questions in objective pattern. So I am not going to derive this again in the question. Directly apply and tell me what is the direction of current in this given arrangement. Check the product. 5 into 5, 25 is less than 100. If 25 is less than 100, what is the direction of current? In this question, current flows from B to D. Okay, so this would be the answer for the given arrangement of resistors. Even this question is based on Kirchhoff laws. They are asking you to determine the current in 1 ohm resistor. So observe the circuit. There are two batteries. One is a 9 volt battery. Another is a 6 volt battery. We have 4 resistors altogether. 3, 1, 2 and 3. So for this circuit, we need to find out what is the value of current in 1 ohm resistor. So to evaluate the current, first I will have to distribute the currents. So let the current coming from this 9 ohm or 9 volt battery, I will take it as I. See, after reaching this junction, it is divided as I1. Remaining current is I minus I1. Put together, it will flow as I. See, first I have branched the currents giving the directions. Now there are two closed loops in this region. I will apply Kirchhoff law for this half of the loop and this half of the loop. So name the loop A, B, C, D, E and F. So for the loop A, B, E, F, A. Okay, which loop I am applying? A, B, E, F and A. Try to apply A to B in the direction. So minus sign. Minus 2I. Again in the direction. Minus 1 into I1. In the direction. Minus 3I. And you are crossing the battery. Negative to positive, the value is positive. Should be 0. Now from here, write the equation, simplify it. Minus 2I minus 3I will be 5I minus 5I minus I1 equals to minus 9, or 5I plus I1, I will write it as 9. Call this as equation 1. Now for the second loop, I will apply the Kirchhoff law. B to C, C to D, D to E and E to B. So for the loop, B, C, D, E and B. Start from B to C, negative to positive, positive. In the direction minus 3 into I minus I1. Opposite to current. So plus 1 into I1 should be 0. Or 6 minus 3I minus of minus plus 3I1 plus I1 is equal to a 0. Or 6 minus 3I plus 4I1 is 0 implies 4I1 minus 4I1 plus 3I is equal to 6. Call this as equation 2. See, did we get two equations from two loops? Now we have to solve them to find the value of I1 and I. See, we have I1 here and 4I1 here. Multiply the first equation with 4. What will happen when I multiply first equation with 4? Implies 5 fours 20I plus 4I1, 9 fours 36. Now from second equation we have minus 4I1 plus 3I should be equal to 6. Solve, add them. 4I1 and minus 4I1 gets cancelled. 20 plus 3, 23I is equal to 36 plus 6 is 42. So what is the value of I equal to? 42 by 23 ampere. Now once you get the value of I, you can easily find out what is the value of I1. So what should be I1 equal to? Okay, here I will solve it. I1 is equal to 9 minus 5I. I1 is 9 minus 5 times of 42 by 23. Simplify this. Take LCM 23. 23 into 9 minus 42 into 5. Okay, or I1 is equal to. Now in this question, we have to determine the potential at O. See, it is a junction of 3 resistors. For the given arrangement, observe the arrangement. We know all the 3 resistances. Here voltage is 20. At this point it is 10. And here the value is given as 0. Okay, I will name these terminals A, B and C. Now, when such type of questions are given, we know current always flows from higher towards lower potential. So let the current coming from 20 volts towards junction be I1. From 0 towards the junction, I will take it as I2. Both put together will flow through the resistor, that is 4 ohm. I will call this as I. So since I1 plus I2 are flowing as I, can we write the relation I is equal to I1 plus I2 by junction rule? Now I need the current in this branch. Okay, so I is the current in OC. Can we write current as potential difference divided by resistance? If I take the potential here as V, which we have to evaluate, from V to 0, current is V minus 0 potential difference divided by resistance from Ohm's law should be I1. I1 is the current in this branch. 20 minus V, because we assume potential at O as V, divided by 2, plus current in the branch O to B, 10 minus V divided by 3. Now solve this relation. V by 4 is equal to 20 by 2 is 10 minus V by 2 plus 10 by 3 minus V by 3. Bring all V terms together. V by 4 plus V by 2 plus V by 3 should be 10 plus 10 by 3, that is 40 by 3. Take LCM. 12, 3 plus 6 plus 4 into V should be 40 by 3. That is 13V by 12 is 40 by 3, implies V is equal to 40 by 3 into 12 by 13, or potential is 160 divided by 13 volts. Okay, so this will give you the potential at the junction of 3 resistors. So this is how you can determine the junction by taking the currents. Now this is a question to evaluate equivalent resistance but by using Kirchhoff laws. See, we have already discussed cubical networks and I told you how to evaluate equivalent resistance for various points. But in this question, we are asked to determine by using Kirchhoff laws. So I will show you one example that is between A and G. Okay, this is your A and this point is G, which is the principal diagonal of a cube. Take all the resistances as capital R. So for calculating the resistance, start supplying the current from from A. Let the current be I. What will happen to the current at this junction? It is divided into 3 equal parts because all the resistors are same. I will take this current as I by 3. In this branch as I by 3, give arrows. In this branch also as I by 3. Now since it is coming out from G, it should be received again as I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. Now go along this branch, it is I by 3 again split into 2 parts. Will become I by 6. In BF also it is I by 6. Similarly, if you continue along A to D, current is divided as I by 6, I by 6. Don't forget to give arrows. Then if you move along A to E, again current is divided as I by 6, I by 6. I repeat, start from A, I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. This is split as I by 6 and I by 6. At this end, I by 6 and I by 6. At this junction, I by 6 and I by 6. Now look at the current reaching this junction C. From here I by 6, from down I by 6. Put together, are we getting I by 3? Similarly at junction H, I by 6 plus I by 6 is I by 3. Then again at this particular point F, I by 6 plus I by 6 put together, it is flowing as I by 3. So once you have distributed the currents, take the shortest path from A to F. See, how can we reach from A to F? You can take any path, but it should be the shortest. I'll move from A to E, E to F, F to G. So the total potential difference between A and G, will this be equal to your applied potential difference V? So I will write the total potential difference between A to G as V is equal to from here to here. Okay, when you move from A to E, what is the potential difference from A to E? Current into resistance. Okay, so if I write it as current into resistance, I am taking the current as I by 3 into resistance is R. From E to F, again I by 6 into R. F to G, I by 3 into R. This should give you the total voltage what you have applied. Now since V is I by 3 into R plus I by 6 into R plus I by 3 into R. Okay, I'll take this as positive terminal because high to low. Current is flowing from high potential towards low potential. Then we know V can be written as total current what you have supplied. What is the current I have supplied to this network? I into R equivalent should be, add all of them. Is it 5R by 6 into I? I and I gets cancelled. So what should be your equivalent resistance now? R equivalent should be equal to 5 into R divided by 6. So just by branching the currents and taking a closed loop and applying Kirchhoff law. Okay, you can apply Kirchhoff law for this whole loop. See, I have applied the same but wrote it as equal to. Again, I will check out, write the equation. If you apply for this closed loop, negative to positive, positive. In the direction of current, you will have a negative sign. All the negative sign, I wrote it as equal to. I into R, I into R, I into R should be 0. So when you bring the term to the left hand side, I by 3 into R plus I by 6 into R plus I by 3 into R will give you applied voltage. And this applied voltage is your total current into equivalent resistance. See, we got the same answer even by using symmetry method, but here also you will get the same result. So what is R equivalent? 5R divided by 6. Now even in this circuit we are asked to determine what is the equivalent resistance, but by making use of Kirchhoff law. So if you observe the circuit carefully, see, this is the same circuit again, 5 and 10, 10 and 5, central resistor is 5. Is it a balanced Wheatstone bridge or an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge? It is unbalanced. See, we can also solve it by using star delta conversion, but here since we have to show it by making use of Kirchhoff laws, okay, I'll tell you the alternative method. So in this method, let the current coming from this battery, okay, so connect a potential difference or a battery between A and B, let the potential difference be V. Now it is supplying a current I, and this current is divided as I1 and I2. Okay, wantedly I took it as I1 and I2. Is it again coming back from the other end? Whatever is the current in this 5 ohm resistor, the same should be the current in this 5 ohm, because it is distributed between 5 and 10 as I1 and I2. Coming back from 5 and 10, symmetry, this should get a current I2, whatever is the current in this, and this should get a current I1. So now what should be the current in the middle branch if I take it as downward? I1 is entering, I2 is leaving. So the remaining current would be I1 minus I2. So step 1, we have branched the currents, but what is the rule we have used? If this is I1, this should be I1. If this is I2, even this should be equal to I2. And now I will find the potential difference between the points A and B in two different paths. One is this path, okay, path from A through 5 ohm, 10 ohm and B. So VAB or VA minus VB equal to, for this path, 5 into I1 plus 10 into I2. Now the same potential difference between the points A and B, I will take a different path, okay, passing through 3 resistors now, 5, 5 and 5. Find out 5 into I1 down plus 5 into I1 minus I2, again this part, plus 5 into I1 will give you the potential difference between A and B, VA minus VB. So I took this path. Again VA minus VB, I took the upper path. Anyway, these two equations are equal. So first equate these two. 5 is common in all the terms. I1 plus 2I2 should be I1 plus I1 minus I2 plus I1. I1 and I1 will get cancelled. I1 plus I1, here we have 2I1. Bring this I2 to the left hand side, 3I2. See, did we get a relation between I1 and I2? So what is I2 equal to? We have got I2 as 2 times of I1 by 3. Call this as equation 1. Now once you get the relation between I1 and I2, equate these two. See, can we write the potential difference between the points A and B as total current what it supplied into its resistance? What is the total current? I am equating these two. VAB, I am writing it as I into R equivalent should be 5I1 plus 10I2. And we know I is nothing but I1 plus I2. Total current into R equivalent is 5I1 plus 10 times of I2. Since we know what is I2, you can substitute 1 in equation 2. Substitute the condition what we got in equation 1. I1 plus, in the place of I2, I will write 2I1 by 3 into R equivalent should be 5I1 plus 10 into 2I1 by 3. See, I1 is common throughout. 1 plus 2 by 3. 5 by 3 into R equivalent, I1 will anyway get cancelled, should be 5 plus 20 by 3. Take LCM, 35 by 3. Implies what is your equivalent resistance of this circuit? 3 and 3 gets cancelled, 35 by 5, that should be 7 ohms. Okay, so using Kirchhoff's law, we have evaluated the value of R equivalent. And you can once check the condition what I told you previously. What should be the direction of current in BD? If this product is greater than this, current would flow from D to B. Check. 5 into 5, 25 is less than 100. So current will flow from B to D. Again I repeat, I already proved this condition previously. If the product of these two resistors is more than the product of these two, current would flow from down to up, that is from D to B. But here we are getting opposite. Product of 5 and 5, 25 is less than 10 into 10. So current will flow from B to D. So this is how you can evaluate the equivalent resistance.